Good afternoon, everyone, and we welcome you back to Rift Rivals, where regions all over the world compete against each other to see who is the better one for adversaries and rivalry. This is Rift Rivals. I am Vulcan, and with me is Arctic. We will be your casters for Game 2.
Yeah, there you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, wow, oh wow. What a game that we had earlier. You know, Sin Gaming, first game of the Rift Rivals for Day 2. Not only just for Day 2, but themselves, their first game in the Rift Rivals in general, but really stepping up their game, dominating over Mineski, leaning towards late game. Really impressive.
All for bragging rights and pride. I love how the Rift Rivals in Day 1 ended. Now, moving on to Day 2, we will be seeing onto our schedule to see what's the upcoming game. It would be the LJL scene against the GPL.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see. Gigabyte Marines, another one of those teams that really performed. But of course, we'll just have to see later on if things do manifest going to Game 2. But let's go ahead and check out this video.
Oh.
Đã lâu lắm rồi ở Việt Nam mới có dịp tổ chức một giải đấu mà có sự xuất hiện của các đội tuyển nước ngoài, nên em cảm thấy rất là vinh dự khi được là một trong 3 đại diện cho GPL thi đấu tại giải đấu này.
So as far as our expectations go, I feel like every team probably expects to win and wants to win. How realistic that is, like, I'm not sure. But obviously we're trying to get first place for GPL. And as far as working with the two other teams, to be honest, we haven't really kind of helped each other too much. But we've spoken to Mineski and GAM, both teams, and yeah, we'll try our best to win it for GPL.
I think this is a good opportunity to play in the Rift Rivals because we get to play with other regions and learn from them. And also, it is a good preparation for Worlds.
Okay, so on the first day of Rift Rivals, I feel like Gigabyte Marines is probably the best team in the entire tournament. But as far as regions go, I feel like Japan probably did the best today. So I feel like as long as us, Ascension, and Mineski can step our game up, well, GPL should probably win.
Đội tuyển GAM vừa thay đổi đội hình và ngay lập tức.
So there you have it. That was the interview videos from our GPL region. Of course, we want our region to be the number 1 to represent and to win, because as we are going on to the Rift Rivals, we do have what Riot prepared for us, which is the logo that you can find into the store for 1 IP. Buy that logo and equip it. Then if ever your region wins, you get a really nice fancy icon that only that region gets. So this is where the bragging rights come from, because it's like going to be exclusively for your region. So let's hope that GPL, they have what it takes to make it towards the Rift Rivals and move on to Day 3, which is going to be tomorrow. And so far, I think GPL, they are not performing that much properly, because we've seen how Mineski and Ascension fumbled. But let's see, onto Gigabyte Marines. They will be playing in this game too, and hope that they will secure another victory for the GPL region.
Yeah, of course, we'll be heading into the drafting in just a little bit to see what exactly unfolds. As both, again, it's all about the first seeds here that'll take the stage once again to bring glory to their regions.
Glory, bragging rights, and all about pride. So let's get straight to the drafting phase. So now, Rampage on the blue side, where Gigabyte Marines are on the red side. This is the second game of today's Day 2 of the Rift Rivals. Opening up the banner phase for Rampage, they have secured really meta bans, the Gragas, Thresh, Elise, whereas the Gigabyte Marines, they will be going for more of a comfort ban. It would be Galio, a Zac, and let's see how will the first phase be complete, because Gigabyte Marines, they are deciding they will be going for the Syndra.
Yeah, very traditional bans that we're seeing for the first two champions being banned out by Gigabyte Marines. So Zach and the Galio as well. Of course, since they are on the red side, they definitely don't want to give any form of, really one of the more OP picks here in the meta right now, especially since it is on Rampage for them being on the blue side. But yeah, and of course, a lot of respect for Ramune Syndra as well, which is, one of the highly performing champions, I'd say, in the Rift so far, and even generally in competitive for other regions as well.
Yes, this is the LJL against GPL. So really nice to see that from day one, as the interview said, the players themselves, they've noticed that the LJL region, they perform best for day one. And I gotta say, I agree with them. Just from the games they've played, shows that they have what it takes to come into the League of Legends international scene and really step up their game, because I think other regions caught them by surprise how LJL played in this Rift Rivals.
I agree with you there, and again, this is what we've been saying here. It's the scenario where in Gigabyte Marines alone, as Warlock mentioned, they are probably, I'd have to agree with him, they are the strongest team in the Rift Rival series for these three regions, without a doubt. But at the end of the day, because of this format, that one team alone couldn't carry an entire region, wherein you have Ascension Gaming and Mineski as well. And unfortunately, with Mineski suffering 0-2, it's up to Ascension Gaming and Gigabyte Marines right now to hopefully garner two consecutive wins to
yes,
put us back on the
it
map.
would be our Lord and Savior Optimus to really carry the GPL, to carry the flag of the GPL, and to really boost up the rankings of our region, because Gigabyte Marines, we've seen them in the GPL, they perform so well, especially in the mid lane. Optimus was one of these high star players. Let's see if he will be this player in this matchup between the Rampage, because when we see Ramune on a Cassiopeia, this is going to be a late scaling composition for LJL. Seeing how there is a virus, but let's get straight to the second pick phase for this game.
Yeah, I mean, of course, with the bans, this is going to be the Tomcat being bad over the second rotation. But let me just go ahead and touch on what we have so far on the board as far as picks. Rek'Sai, Varus, and Cassiopeia going to be locked in by Rampage. So again, it's this emphasis on wanting to take in what champions you can get for your mid laners right off the back. Because of that trust, we know for most of the teams here, most of the mid laners are probably the star players that we've seen thus far. Again, Optimus, like I said, Lord and Savior of the GPL right now. But Ramune as well for Rampage, another one of those strong players that we've seen really perform yesterday during Game 1 against the Oceanian squad, regardless of their loss earlier. So
let's see though, I mean, Tossle on a Rek'Sai will really complement them, but onto the second banning phase, Rampage knows that Levy is something that they have to watch out for, banning out that Lee Sin, and now Archie's Renekton will be removed from this game matchup, whereas Gigabyte Marines, they are focusing on to the support. Dara will be having a harder time picking, because I think the Marines, they know what's up with Dara, scouting him out, focus banning him in the second phase of the banning phase.
Yeah, there we go. So it looks like it's going to be the cannon hover over for Archie here, and not just a hover, that will be the lock-in actually. I'm actually interested in seeing what Rampage will be choosing to lock up this draft here. It looks like the Lulu, a very good all-around great support, but looks like they will be transitioning into potentially the Camille instead.
Or the Camille support.
Yes.
It was a really nice tidbit, but I think Rampage, they will be going for more of a conventional support, really something they are used to still in the picking phase.
I really love how Rampage, based on what picks I've been seeing from them thus far, they really have a logical sense of how to counter pick the enemy. It's just that I still have a little bit of a question mark on my mind though. Since they are on the blue side, technically they should be a little bit more proactive as being as opposed to being more responsive to what Gigabyte Marines is going for. But then again, we have determined Gigabyte Marines as probably the biggest threat in the Rift Rivals right now. So probably then again, it is something that they need to take into consideration for doing so.
Oh, we are going to be seeing a Jungle Graves. Somehow Levy's, I wouldn't say a comfort pick. It's more of a pick that he's been using for quite a while in a way that it is going to be a comfort pick. But right now in this meta, I'm not sure how it will fare against this Rek'Sai who has been buffed up. really complementing the playstyle of Rampage because they are a Camille, a Cassiopeia. This is going to give Tussle more room to grow. But for Gigabyte Marines, they have a top cannon, so Levy, I wonder how he'll play this Grace, because when a Grace does get behind, it does spell trouble.
Yeah, and overall, looking at the draft here again, Rampage logically, I like how they kind of have an answer to what the squad of Gigabyte Marines is drafting here. Miasma coming in from Cassiopeia actually covers over the Graves, the Talia, the Callista, and the Brock to an extent. You know, could really stop them in their tracks if positioned correctly. And then at the same time, this Camille leading into clashes, going with the cannon, the Hextech Ultimatum, you know, would really prevent some of the chaos that the placing Nostrum could wreak going into the full-on 5v5s. But let's go ahead and see if this will eventually manifest later on during the game to a win for either Rampage or for the Gigabyte Marines.
This is going to be the second game, so let's get straight to it, guys. I mean, I'm pretty excited how GPL will perform against LJL's Rampage. This is going to be a really high-stake match for GPL. They need to win this if they have any hopes in moving on to the next stage, but let's get straight to it. Here we are live on the Rift. This is RPG on the blue side, whereas GAM will be on the red side. Let's get straight to it, guys. This is game 2, day 2 of the Rift Rivals. Let's see if RPG has what it takes to come out on top of GPL's first seed.
There we go. Looks like we'll be heading into the action. And, you know, I feel like Gigabyte Marines, I'm not sure probably how they're feeling right now, because thus far, they're the only team from the GPL to pull off a win out of the... Let's see. So we have 2 games from Fineski, 1 from Ascension, and then this will be the second. So 1 out of 4 for the GPL right now. So, you know, it's interesting here because I actually, like, if I had to bank on which team I'd probably see win this match, especially with Rampage actually losing out on their match earlier as opposed to the Oceanic squad, which got a win over them. So I'm estimating Gigabyte Marines probably will get a win, but then again, that's just based on the prediction of what we've been seeing from yesterday. But looking at the overall picture again, it's such a deficiency that the GPL is in right now. 2 losses from Mineski, along with 1 loss by Ascension Gaming. It's quite the setback in a way.
Well, it's going to be a really huge setback in a way that GPL, they have 0 wins, except for GAM, which has 1 win. But this is going to be day 2, so let's hope that Ascension Gaming will step up their game. Because if they do not, I'm pretty scared for GPL, because this is their pride on the line. Because in a way that GPL's region is really somehow an old region, and LJL, they're new. And they're entering this Rift Rivals as somehow very confident, very strong in a way that it's giving that GPL a bad look. So this is going to be rivalry here. It feels bad. Let's get straight to it. I mean, GPL, they will try their best to make it to the at least the 3rd seed spot when it comes to the Rift Rivals.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to think about it, because like, if you're going to look at other regions, they have a lot of teams that are known across the board, because equally, not necessarily probably equally, but across the board, they have very strong teams. So, in a way, if ever your region falters in Rift Rivals, it's actually somewhat telling that, sure, you might have a strong team, but looking at the rest of the teams, are they somebody that we'd worry about? Especially since, if I'm not mistaken, it's actually the GPL that has that double slot into Rogues right now. So we could assume that probably, yeah, 1 slot could go to Gigabyte Marines, but do we really need to worry about the other team based on the performance in Rift Rivals?
So this is more of like a testing grounds, but let's get back into the game to see how this grounds will be tested for LGL against GPL, because this is Rift Rivals, are really more of a culminating activity for pro players all over the globe to see what they've got and to share their knowledges of all regions.
And looks like back into the action will go. Everything is resolved and good to go for both Rampage and the Gigabyte Marines. Of course, from wherever you're watching, let us know who you guys are rooting for. Do you guys want to see the squad from Japan, the first seed of the LJL, get their first win for Rift Rivals, or do you guys want to see the crowd favorite, if I'm not mistaken, I'd say myself, I'm a personal fan of the Gigabyte Marines, coming in as the first seed of the GPL for Rift Rivals. Let's head on into the action.
And right now we're seeing that Levy did get spotted on his Raptor start. So RPG knows what's up. Tussle will be making his way to the blue side. Aiming for Archie. Maybe the cannon will be going for the more AP route we'll be seeing in this patch 7.12. Let's see how Archie will be transitioning this cannon. How he will build it, we'll see it soon.
Yeah, I mean, overall, this is actually something that...
Oh, Levy already going for the level 2 gag. Red buff is up. Ramune is fending him off. In the bot side, a lot of damage being dealt by that Callista. Ignite onto Zio, and that would be the first blood for Dara. Shad did not see that coming.
Yeah, you know, Gigabyte Marines probably overestimating their potential there, since, you know, Noe actually getting a significant amount of damage onto Vittori Mayasi, but at the end of the day wasn't able to count for his support. And
oh, the top side, here comes Tussle. This is what I was talking about, but Tussle goes to the red and straight to the blue side. He is ignoring the wolves, the raptors. He knows he wants to kill, and he got a kill already. This is what I'm scared about a Rek'Sai when I see it in game.
Man, 2-0 right now. Great start for the Japanese team here. So, you know, definitely something that the Vietnamese squad, Gigabyte Marines, needs to respect right now, because especially with this Rek'Sai, Tussle getting that kill along with, well, luckily for the bot lane of Gigabyte Marines, it actually went to Dara, but still, this is definitely a leg up for Rampage if ever they decide to keep up this consistency and, you know, potentially build up on this. Again, these small victories leading up to bigger leads.
Well, this is the trouble they will face, because Sha is on a melee support against a range support like Lulu. He will really have a disadvantage when it comes to laning and poke and more CC, so it will be up to Norway to actually pace himself properly. But right now in the top side, we did see that Levy is there looking for some blood, looking for the right timing to go in on to Evie, but time wasted. Levy will be returning.
Oh man, there we go. So the farm games are actually very interesting this far, because I gotta hand it to Noe though, regardless of the fact that they were actually at a disadvantage because of that death from Saya. He's still doing pretty good. Was actually about just a CSR 2 up. But then again, it's actually quite notable, because if you're going to consider it, because of that deficiency, you'd think that the Gigabyte Marine squad would be a little bit more on the defensive, because again, it is Dara and Yutori Mayasi that's at a leg up. But regardless, still, definitely the bot lane for GAM showing no signs of being deterred.
4 minutes and 54 seconds into the game, and right now RBG is starting off really well, and seeing how the bot lane is being played out, Yutori Moyasi is really pushing into the lane for Noe and Shot. They will be forced to farm under their turrets, while as Levy, he is spotted in the blue side of RPG. Might go for a steal, he does not see it coming. Tussle going for the scuttle crab. He is going for the bot lane, maybe for a dive. It is a Rek'Sai.
Yeah, ooh, look at those again, Saya. Considering that he is a Braum, but then again, because of the harass coming from both Yutori Mayase and Dara, it's actually at quite a bit of a disadvantage.
Oh boy, Levi is there with the blast cone, looking for the right time to see how Evie will be baited by Archie. Still waiting on the blast cone area. He will be backing down.
Yeah, you know, Evie, again, I really like the premonitions coming in from these players here in Rift Rivals. You know, there have been so many of these instances where the junglers would try to seek out a gank, but then again, just when you think that that opportunity comes, all of a sudden, you know, their lane enemy suddenly decides to go for the defensive or goes for a recall right after. So these are actually the small windows of opportunity, which is why some of these games, you know, tend to drag along a bit. You know, again, it's all about the calm before the storm for most of the games that we've been seeing thus far here.
Whenever Tussle gets a kill, he will go straight for the Tiamat, so clear-wise, Tussle will be a really huge threat. So Levy, he has to hustle up. He is behind intense CS and 1 kill. Sha, they try to make some room for his ADC. No way on that Callista. He will have to wait for a spike. So this is something that GAM, the Marines, will have to really think through, because RPG, they have a lot of time to actually scale up and they have a lead. So this is going to be RPG on a more uphill side, whereas the Gigabyte Marines, they will really have to fight and climb that hill to really catch up to the damage that Evie and Yutari Moyazi are bringing into this game. Also goes in, there's a flash in from Evie, and the Hex Stick Only Mana will lock him down, but a Slicing Master will also lock two members of RPG down. Archie's very low, he gets knocked to the air, giving Evie a kill.
Oh man, not the best start at all for the Vietnamese squad. Gigabyte Marines, definitely feeling the pressure of the proactiveness coming in from Rampage's plays thus far. And it's interesting, like I mentioned, these small victories that I feel like Rampage, if this continues, they'll be slowly pulling away unless we see some sort of proactivity from Levi himself. And this is a jungler that we've been championing. Again, a lot of these Vietnamese junglers across the board from their country have really been performing thus far, whether it be in the collegiate scene or even the pro scene. So again, it's all about all the rest of Gigabyte Marines needing to step up eventually later on during this game to really get things going on. So far, sure, early game it's understandable. They could afford these small discrepancies, but then again later on it's just something that they don't want to allow to widen and widen and widen. Because as that lead widens for Rampage, it'll only close out on their windows of opportunity to try to get back to make up for lost ground.
Oh, Evie gets stun locked, but here comes the Weavers while Archie will be forced to at least think back. Evie backing away, hook shotting to the wall. Optimus is there with Italia for him to shove him back. Evie's very low, but it'll be Levy taking the kill onto Evie.
Good coordination there coming in from both Optimus and Levy, but still, it's a good startup for Gigabyte Marines to try to get back into this game. But then again, here towards the bot lane though, Dara and Yutari Moyazi really capitalizing on the deficiency of having a melee support.
Tussle, if he does get this blue buff for Ramune, this is trouble for Optimus. Sees what's up. He does take away the blue buff, the Empress of Tussle. So Saya will be a bit more happy this time, knowing that he does have the blue buff to continuously spam that Frostbite.
Yeah, good on Gigabyte Marines to try to, they kind of built that premonition that there could have been a potential blue buff take, especially since, we did spot Levy. Rampage was able to determine that Levy was towards the top side of the map after that takedown onto Evie right there. So
if he goes into Archie, he gets stunned by the hook shot. Evie, he gets stunned by the slashing mask from Archie. Will be dueling him out. Evie's very low. He changes his mind, trying to back away, but Archie wants him dead. He's chasing, but gives it up.
Oh man, this is a problem though towards the bot lane, as we did see Noe and Saya actually being taken down. The double kill going to Dara though.
Oh, that would be a trap. Buff transfer complete, and that was a double death in the bot lane side of Gigabyte Marines. That's also the first blood turret for RPG. Here is the replay on what happened.
Yeah, so this is what has transpired here. So I don't think Noe and Saya were estimating the fact that Tussle was actually within the vicinity. So again, it's just pretty much the safety here. But then again, a great connection here. Varus going into the knockup, coming in from Tussle, just really secured things here. Sure, double kill going to Dara, but then again, the overall picture, the fact that they were able to transition this into a first turret, really impressive. Rampage definitely on a roll in comparison to their performance from yesterday.
And Yutari Moyazi looking at his support Dara with Weird Eye saying that, why do I have 3 assists? You have 3 kills, give some to me. Right now, I think Dara will be playing the ADC role this time. Yutari Moyazi will be forced to be a bit more under the shadow of Dara, but here comes Tussle. The lane swap did happen for the Marines, but Dara and Yutari Moyazi, they're there. No wards placed yet for GAM. Right now, the top side, Tussle scouting things out. We see Levy on the red side. Darren and Tussle sees Levy. Very juicy target.
Yeah, I really like how Rampage kind of transitioned to this top side here along with Gigabyte Marines, and plus the fact that Tussle himself, even he made the adjustment because he was able to be much more practical towards the bot side, since there really wasn't as many resources he could grab. Transitioning to the top side now, not only is he able, it's basically hitting 2 birds with 1 stone here. Not only does he get the resources from his Ojol, at the same time, able to continue the pressure onto both Noe and Sai here, who are quite fundamentally behind right now in terms of kills.
But when it comes to CS, and Archie does have a really good chunk of gold compared to Evie. But here goes Flash in from Tussle. The knockup will not connect on the Optimus. Optimus throwing stones at Tussle, trying to stone him to death. Will not happen. There's knock from Saya. Double knock up onto Dara. Dara with a Star Guardian, very cute, but he does get shot down. There is Yutori Mayasi seeing his support die. He could not do anything.
Great practice lately are coming in from Gigabyte Marines, you know, to slowly even out the playing field. And as a result, you know, this kind of slowly balances, tilts the scales here to make sure that Noe and Saya try to get back into this game from that efficiency that they concurred within the first 10 minutes of the game. Of course, the best thing about this, again, they'll also be able to get a turret out of it, back to even playing field slowly but surely alongside Rampage.
And it's for Levy to really bring up that damage onto that grave spot. RPG, they are willing to trade that out the toppling turret for the first Drake of the game, which is the Ocean Drake, going to RPG.
There you go. And again, it's interesting because like LJL, they were slowly getting the put up through the small victories that they were able to control. Oh, but looks like Gigabyte Marine's actually going for Rift Herald.
Oh, so what's more worth it? The Ocean Drake or the fact that RPG, Rampage, the first seed of Japan, they are willing to trade that out for the Rift Herald and the top lane outer turret.
Yeah, it's definitely all up to Gigabyte Marines though to try to figure out the best angle possible to really maximize the use of this Rift Herald take there, because this could actually determine whether or not Gigabyte Marines could actually pull ahead of Rampage depending on how efficiently they use that Rift Herald. Not necessarily to topple down the lane, but even generally the use of that Empowered Recall is also a great tool to have to try to exert some level of control across this map. And I'm actually wondering who they give the Rift Herald buff to. That's actually something I really want to determine here.
Levy did get the Rift Herald buff, so he will be rotating all throughout the map.
Yeah,
but
this will definitely help.
In the bot side, Archie again with the reckless positioning falls down to Tussle. Tussle is really on the Archie, really. This type of pattern that Tussle has, all of his kills, 2 of them actually came from the top side.
Yeah, there we go. Let's go ahead and check out what happened here. You know, Archie really getting caught out here by both Tussle and Eevee here. You know, tries to go for the retaliation, but the fact of the matter is Tussle and Eevee are quite on the upper spectrum in comparison to Archie. So Archie not quite at the optimal speed just yet. Easily taken down. Just more fodder for Rampage to establish another lead.
And this is the Camille we are talking about, who scales really, really well into the late game. Camille has been nerfed in the early phase of the game, but that does not remove her from the meta, because when Camille reaches level 11 and then 16, that Hex Tech Ultimatum lockdown will be longer, more powerful. So Archie on that cannon is at a disadvantage. He does not have the mobility that he wants, and right now he is going for the Fervor of Battle cannon, attack speed cannon instead of the AP. So when it comes to trade-offs, Evie will really be torturing Archie.
Oh man. We'll just have to see. This is something still yet to see Archie try to put on the biggest, because clearly the struggle is real, but again, I gotta hand it to him. The hope and the prayer is at least he's at least 20 CS up on his top lane counterpart from Rampage here, but looks like we'll be seeing a play though coming in here. Weaver's Wall not really leading to anything significant though, trying to trap off Levi, but Levi able to save himself.
Right now, Optimus, he is looking pretty good so far, evening up in CS and gold, and itemization-wise, he does have the Morello. CD reduction is up for him, but I gotta say for Norway, he is fairly behind when it comes to a Callista. He should already be scaling up really well into this mid-game, because he needs to get that Rune Turkin if he wishes to stack up those arrows really well. But right now, Tussle tries to tunnel away, but he does get caught off by Saya. He's stun locked, and there will be no way picking up the kill. Saya really cutting down Tussle's escape was really well timed.
Exactly, I gotta hand it to Saya right there. Very well played indeed. You know, it's these small things. Saya now 0-2 and 2. Those 2 assists that he managed to get, you know, really helps him get back here from that lost ground, because, you know, he was really struggling because of that laning phase with Dara and Yutori Moyasi from the Varus and the Lulu respectively. But here comes the Rift Herald though.
The Rift Herald in the mid lane. Gigabyte Marines will be securing their second turret of the game. So RPG, they are losing in terms of Gigabyte Marines stalling game right now. They have to close the game as fast as they can, but I think that's not a problem for RPG. They have a Cassiopeia, so it's not going to be a really huge setback. But for the Marines, They are looking for some blood. Evie does not see it coming. Sire 40 stand behind me. Archie's there. 3 members are locked onto the brush side. Here comes the slashing masterman. Hex the ultimatum. No way is free to hit. Archie picks up the kill. Yutari Moyase will be trying his best for the piercing arrow. The snipe does happen, but Dara picks it up instead. Optimus for the flank. Flash away from Dara. Flash away from Yutari Moyase. 2 members of RPG on the bot side. The Drake will be live in 1 minute and 24 seconds. The Marines are setting up, but here comes Tussle for a 3-man knockout, and there is Saya being such a bro attack, blocking the damage for the Marines, but at the cost of his life.
Yeah, but regardless, I like the fact that Gigabyte Marines really fast on using these flashes to make sure that the casualties were minimized to an extent, because if everybody caught that petrifying gaze from Cassiopeia, I think that would be much more destructive, if anything.
Oh,
would
definitely.
really set Gigabyte Marines back.
Saya with the Unbreakable absorbed it all. He is going to be that Martyr.
Yeah. But yeah, overall though, Gigabyte Marine, it's just still pretty much even. It's pretty even right now. But then again, I gotta hand it to Rampage, because yesterday it was pretty equal to an extent until such time that the Oceanic squad just really started skyrocketing based on what advantages they had with their composition. So it's refreshing to see that Rampage, like I mentioned, I pegged them. I really like the logic behind their draft, but in comparison to yesterday, I'd say this is a much better responsive draft to what Gigabyte's Marines has drafted, as opposed to what they drafted yesterday, because again, it's one of those scenarios with Rampage wherein they drafted to an extent wherein, sure, the win conditions are there, it's just that they're so complicated to pull off to really get that counter on. But with this composition, it's really manifesting to great things for them, really working out against what a lot of people considered the best squad coming in from the GPL.
So for the Marines, they are taking away this Infernal, so at least counter that Ocean, but for Archie, he cannot catch a break. Sees something is up. Evie goes in for the hook shot, trying to go closing onto Archie. Evie's taking a lot of damage. Tussle will be joining here. There's a slashing mace. Evie's very low. He goes in, but risks himself. Archie picks up the kill. Optimus is there, and there is Tussle burning himself down, but Optimus will be cleaning up that fight. Ramune makes his way in.
Yeah, not bad played at all. 2 for 1 in favor of Gigabyte Marines right there. But as a result, also a turret going to be taken down by Levi. So, you know, the trades are definitely working in Gigabyte Marines' favor. It looks like they'll be going for the second turret as well. So, you know, this is great by Gigabyte Marines, really getting the comeback. And this is the first time we're actually seeing them pull ahead in terms of a goal lead towards the 20-minute mark. So hopefully this will lead to even better things for them, really building up on the momentum. So let's go ahead and check out what has transpired here, though, because this was absolutely crazy. You know, a tower dive coming in from Rampage here. I don't think it's something that would work right now. Sure, earlier it was pretty much feasible, but then again, this response from Optimus just really spelled things. And the fact that they committed to a full tower dive, plus the fact that Archie was already slowly starting to build up on necessary items, it was, you know, a little bit cheesed by Rampage here. And as a result, not only did they concur 2 losses, but they also lost 2 turrets towards the bot lane as well. Wait, were they able
2
to
turrets,
take down?
yes. 2
Okay.
2 turrets was taken out.
Yeah,
they have a turret score of 4, so that would be the bot lane completely demolished by the trio of the Marines. So Rampage, they are trying to play to their favor, but it's the fact that the Marines are pressuring them in the bot side, the top side, so they're just waiting for Ramune to catch up on their Cassiopeia.
Yeah, definitely. And with all said and done, this is something that really needs to manifest later on, because otherwise, I feel like Gigabyte Marines, you know, they're slowly getting back. You know, a lot of the members were actually at quite a deficiency earlier because of the proactiveness of Tussle for Rampage here. But then again, these small things happening across the map for Gigabyte Marines to really get back into this game. If anything, they're actually already back in this game. Looking at the goal difference right now, you know, really manifesting here for Archie. You know, he was quite behind earlier, but now actually on the upper hand.
Oh, flash in from Tussle, knocks up Optimus, is very low. He's going to be trying to escape. Here comes Levi for the assist, but Tussle burrows in and kills Optimus. Teleport coming in. Levy still sticking to Ramune. Teleport coming in. Evie will join in the fight. That is 3 members of Rampage in the vicinity, but Tussle gets caught off guard. Sire is there with a frostbite, but no way will be picking up the kill. He is on a killing streak, but Rampage is still going for the top lane outer turret. 3 members are there, and we see that Yutari Moyase is standing there, hoping that a Clash Dose break happens. He might be there for the respawn spot. I think the Marines will be backing off.
Yeah, I mean, off the job well done. That's actually, that's a pain in the hiney that new Rek'Sai ult right there. You know, almost gave guaranteed deaths to, earlier it was Archie, now it was Optimus. So, and really showing 5-3 and 4 for Tussle right now. But you know, one of the problems that I have with Rampage right now is it's somewhat similar to the scenario earlier with Mineski and Sin Gaming, wherein Rampage is kind of the Mineski in a sense right now, in the perspective that you're not necessarily giving the optimal kills you want onto the main carries that you really want to be dishing out the damage later on. Sure, 002 and 005, at least it's still a workable KD. It's just that it would have been so much more sufficient, so much more easier for Rampage to work with had the necessary kills gone onto these two carries here.
Yes, especially for Yutori Moyasi. Dara really making himself look bad with a KD of 411. And I hope that Yutori Moyasi will be catching up. He does have the Runen Hurricane and Pickaxe. Optimus gets caught by Levi Envy. He won't be escaping with a lockdown from the Camille. But the Weaver's Wall will be enough for the outplay. He flashes away. Oh, the hook chip will not connect. There is a redemption for the heal, but Dara will be executing Optimus from the skies.
Oh, Dara. But yeah, I was actually surprised that
maybe he thought that that was Saya's redemption.
I was thinking the same thing actually, because the color totally threw the color of that redemption even threw me off. I was expecting that that was going to be some kind of clutch heal from Saya, so I don't know what happened there, but regardless, you know, still job well done by Rampage. But then again, manifesting again to a kill for Dara as opposed to one of the carries.
Whenever you see a redemption circle, don't even go in. Even if it's your allies, still be paranoid. Hey, wait. There's 2 redemptions in this game. Is this mine or is the enemy's? Just don't even go near it. just don't go near it.
Because either way, but yeah.
Because either way, you're gonna die. This is what happened to Optimus. He thought that Saya was like, I got you. I got your back. Let me heal you up. But here's the replay.
Yeah, let's go ahead and check out what happened here, though. So,
top 10 really anime betrayals.
I gotta say, though, you know, Optimus,
really
I love the use of the Weaver's Wall here. Actually prolonged. And had it not been for this redemption here, I believe Optimus would have been able to escape. So again, really good cutoff, really good choke pincer attack there coming in from Rampage.
Top 10 anime betrayals for Gigabyte Marines. Saya should have been actually signaling Optimus for that, but we can't know for sure. But it would be Optimus dying for the 2nd time. He does have the Leanders and the Morello. The blasting wall might go for the, I'm not sure, still flexible in a way, but let's see how Optimus will be building this one into.
I'm actually wondering if that was Optimus giving the kill to Dara on purpose, because, we actually might be seeing a fight.
Oh, Tussle though taking a lot of heat from the members of the Marines. The Baron is off for grabs. Tussle, I gotta say, in this game, majority of his kill participation is actually onto him, because I think it's a 9 out of 11 KP, so that's going to be a lot. But right now, our Rampage go for the Baron slowly but sneaky, but the Marines will be onto them.
Man, this game is really crucial at this point, because if anything, if Rampage loses this game, this actually sets them back as to potentially sending in their first seed to duke it out tomorrow. While for Gigabyte Marines as well, considering the fallback that GPL is in right now, they really want to try to make sure that whoever plays for them tomorrow, whether it be Ascension Gaming or Messi, they want to try to minimize and determine which one of the first seeds do they consider a lesser threat, and try to deny them that win to propel their region to getting the first seed into tomorrow's games. So, again, it's very, very tricky at this point, and still, it's interesting. We're back to equal grounds in terms of gold for both sides. But then again, you know, really slowly building. I like the fact how Rampage has been very proactive to really denying Optimus any snowball potential, because kind of like what we've seen earlier, the Talia for Sin Gaming just really skyrocketed, but that's not really the same scenario here for Optimus. You know, Rampage really giving him a hard time.
And right now, I think the members of Rampage, they are willing to end this game. They're going all into the Baron side, denying vision from the Marines. Tussle with a key of 5-3-4. Yeah, 9 of 11 kill participation is huge, especially when you're a Rek'Sai.
Oh yeah,
and you have that much of a lead.
And you know, this will just allow members of Rampage. I mean, like I've been mentioning, sure, the kills haven't necessarily been going on to the carries thus far, but with the support and the Rek'Sai, they're actually pretty solid in the sense that I could eventually, hopefully, grant that opportunity to both Yutori and Mayase and Ramune. Because if anything, if those kills went onto the Cassiopeia and Varus much earlier on, Rampage would have actually had a clearer angle to really dominate Gigabyte Marines. But because of this fallback, which is really why I like the fact that Optimus just surrendered to the redemption as opposed to just surrendering to Eevee, because giving it to Dara isn't really as much of an impact.
Archie really has to watch himself out, because at this point in time, you do not want to be 1v1 by a Camille.
Yeah, especially considering that he could be one of the potential saving graces. Again, slicing Maelstrom, such a key element going into these full-on 5v5s.
But he's on an AD build.
Yeah,
so
that's actually the tricky part.
The patch 7.0, Cannon did get more AP scaling, having a really difficult time against the Camille. He can't even split push. That's what he wants as a Cannon, to split push. But Evie is there. Here comes the teleport.
Oh no.
Yes, sir. Rampage already at the Baron side, half health down. The Marines see what's coming up. Ultimates cuts them off, trapping themselves in the Baron pit. Levy goes in deep, trying to steal the Baron, but Tussle kills him off. Optimus is very low, he flashes away, but he still gets taken down. Noah with the Kalista trying his best. Tussle is onto him with the execution. Dara is chasing him down. Evie with the Camille will be slowing himself down. The hookshot will try to stun Noe. He does dodge it. Let's see. No, it's going to be a shutdown.
Oh man, 16 and 7 right now. Definitely all on RB's court right now. And with the Baron buff, not to mention 4 members of Gigabyte Marines decimated, this might actually be the inhibitor for Rampage.
Especially Archie was not in that fight. He was still in heaven before everything happened wrong. But when he came down from heaven, he saw that the Marines were all dead. So right now he's in an awkward position. I can't do anything.
It's really interesting how these small pickups, you know, it might seem small, but the fact that it eventually manifests to these bigger things, particularly Gigabyte Marines losing out in terms of the numbers game, transitioning into that Baron right there, really Rampage capitalizing on what advantages that they have. So,
you know that Weaver's Volcana was really well placed for Optimus. Had it been there have been a more burstier damage, let's say the Cannon slicing Maelstrom, which is pure AP, that would have been beautiful. But
exactly.
But Levy, he did try go for the smite steal, but Tussle really played with him, shoot him like a toy, and Levy couldn't even smite steal. He smited too early, so that's what the Marines wanted to gamble. They wanted to go for the Baron buff, no matter what the cost, but they failed. And now, Rampage, they have the Baron buff, and 4 members died. That's a huge chunk of gold. Further making Rampage's lead into 58,000 gold lead.
And if you think about it, like, had Archie been alive and kicking in that fight right there during the Baron fight, that actually potentially would have been a steal for Gigabyte Marines. Because again, the problem there is that without Archie, Levi was the only one that was able to go in solo in on the Baron pit. So without the CC to kind of stop the rest of the members of Rampage to take him down right away before he gets the steal, again, Archie really needs to be careful because he's so crucial. The kit that the Cannon has, so crucial to the success of trying to get Gigabyte Marines onto playing field with Rampage. But thus far, because Rampage, again, capitalizing on the advantages, the win conditions to the T, just really slowly choking out Gigabyte Marines here, that any opportunities that they have.
Oh, Chain of Corruption. Utari uses it. Here comes Optimus for the Weaver's World cut off. That's going to be a cut off for the members of Rampage. The Marines will take down the ADC. Tussle is next, but Archie is there for the double kill. Right now, the Marines are complete. They swept the floor against Rampage. 2 members are down. The Baron buff is now diminished to 3 members only, but the next trick will be live.
Man, this is what I've been talking about right here. Where has Archie been throughout this entire game? Why not group with your teammates? This is the advantage that you have right here. The hold that you have, the stuns coming in from this Tenon, which would have actually secured much more solid kills onto the members of Rampage. The fact that this is only manifesting in a scenario wherein Gigabyte Marines has their back against the wall, you know, it's quite baffling. But hopefully, realizing that advantage, this may be hopefully a chance wherein Gigabyte Marines realizes what advantages they could capitalize on based on the composition that they have.
Alright, let's see. The Marines going for the Infernal Drake. The Rampage will not let that happen. Tussle, though, a bit too scared. he does have more stakes for him. He has more to lose, so he will be giving the Inferno to the Marines.
Yeah, but let's go in and check out what happened here. Again, this is what I'm talking about. Finally, great entrance there from Archie, really catching the rest of Rampage off guard. It was at this point that Rampage really realizing losing a lot of their key members slowly tilted back to Gigabyte Marines' favor. Whether or not this establishes them back on equal playing field, we'll just have to see. Again, it's all on them to see how they perform based on the composition that they have.
So for the kill score, 16-9. Rampage, they have a good lead. I mean, 6,000 gold lead is enough for you to have more items than the enemy team. But Evie will be going more defensive. The Gargoyle Stone Plate, a really good item on the Camille. So when it comes to hard engages, Rampage does have the upper hand compared to the Marines. Archie's on the cannon, so it's more offensive. Evie goes in onto Optimus. He is very low, but here comes Saya for the assist. The lockdown is there. There's a double knockdown. Whoa, that's CC onto Evie to save the mid laner Optimus, but Evie still takes him down. And now there's the collapse for Levy, trying to go in, but he does get polymorphed. Dara is there. Dara is dealing more damage than Yutori Mayasi, but he takes down Levy. So this is bad news for the Marines.
Oh man, again, this is another one of those scenarios where with Archie absent from those fights, it's just basically Rampage, since they do technically have the advantage, living up to what strengths that they have now that they have this lead. And again, this is just going to be quite bloody for Gigabyte Marines at this point. If anything, this may potentially be game.
This is potentially game set, knowing that the inhibitors are down. And the death timer is huge. It will just be a struggle for the Marines. That will be the ace of the game, where Rampage, the first seed from LJL, will secure the victory against the first seed of GPL. Congratulations to Rampage, the first seed from the Japan region, for securing the victory against the Marines.
And I gotta agree with Warlock right here. Overall, as a region, probably not even as a region, like that defeat that Rampage put on to Gigabyte Marines was pretty convincing in my opinion. So with all said and done, I gotta hand it LJL. I'm very, very impressed. You know, one of the newer emergences as far as the global competitive scene, but still really showing up here in Rift Rivals, and it's definitely very telling of what power that they'll be bringing heading off into Worlds. So I'm very, very impressed indeed. But then again, of course, on the unfortunate side, it does set back GPL, and if I'm not mistaken, it's pretty much guaranteed that they're at 3rd seed right now for Rift Rivals.
So this is going to be the concluding results for Game 2. We have been your shotcasters. I am Vulcan, and with me was Arctic. We have been your casters, for the Game 2 of the Rift Rivals. I hope you enjoyed it so far, guys. We'll be having a short break, moving on to Game 2. Don't go away just yet.